Hi, it's Chris from Clearly Crafted again. I'm here with the second part of our video where we were working with the crackle medium. So this is our dried piece of tile, same piece of tile that we had, painted black. Then I added some colors to that for variation for when it crackles. I did put the crackle medium on already. I used this one. And it's dry. You need to make sure that between each of these layers, everything is dry. You can use a hairdryer to dry it if you want. This I just let dry naturally. The only difference I did do is I went with the plaster color. This is plaster instead of, I was going to use the ivory. Thought the ivory had a little bit too much of a yellow undertone. And with this being the napkin that I'm going to be putting it on, I was afraid I wanted to bring up more of that neutral background. And if we yellowed this too much, then the flowers would probably blend in. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on the paint and the cracks will start forming right away. So this is kind of a quick process. And because I want it to look like a wood grain, I'm going to be brushing horizontally, long ways, so that I have the cracks that go through. If I went up and down here, the natural look of this background of this napkin, it may look a little odd. So we're going to do those together. So I just have my regular old brush here. You can use a brush, you can use a sponge, you can use whatever you prefer. I'm a brush person. This is a little bit thick paint, and you'll see pretty good size cracks form. I add a little bit of water. And it'll start crackling as soon as I start applying it. And you have to be careful because sometimes you can actually pull the crackle off. So it'll be interesting. You'll be able to see it start, and you can already see that it's crackling as we're going. So long streaks. And you want to watch going back over areas, not too much. And you can see all these cracks forming. Adding a little more water because this is really thick. Some of these chalk paints can get thick, especially if they stand for a while. I tend to throw them away and start new, or just add some water. Water works well with them. You can see how I went over there and it pulled. So it's these nice long strokes. You can see all of this is cracking already. The thicker the paint, really, with some of these, the thicker, the bigger the cracks. I want to go over some of these areas because this will continue crackling as the paint dries. And it's very uneven, but that's kind of what you want. You want that distressed look. You can already see where, look at all of that, those cracks that have already formed already. And it'll continue cracking as it dries. So, and that's the basis, that's all I'm going to put on. And I'm going to bring this up to you so you can see it. You can see all the cracks that are forming. And you can see as using it like this, it's going to look like wood. And it's going to show through this napkin really well. You're going to see it. So I will let this dry, and then I'll put a layer of Mod Podge on this to seal it, so it kind of stops that crackling. But there is how quickly some of this stuff works. All right, happy crackling.